Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hello everyone, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
And welcome to episode 34 of Adventures and Mousecapades.
This has been a week.
It has. We don't even have a quip.
We don't have a quip.
It's been that much of a week.
It's been crazy.
6 days.
Yes. This episode was going to be our first impressions of The Wish. Mm-hmm. And when we left off with you last week's episode, it was, we'll be coming to you from The Wish.
Yep.
Instead, we're coming to you from a couch in the master bedroom of a very beautiful VRBO rental in Cocoa Beach.
Yes.
Which I've actually enjoyed our time here.
Yes, it has been nice. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Is basically from Mousecapades to Adventures.
Indeed.
We had to do a little bit of a switch.
Yes.
Our Wish plans had to get moved for various reasons. Mm-hmm. We are now going to be going on the Wish in March of 2023.
Yep.
And just Nathan and I.
Yep. But it'll be an anniversary cruise.
It will be an anniversary cruise. It'll be a 23rd anniversary cruise.
Hey, happy anniversary.
Hey, happy anniversary. Early anniversary.
Hey, I won't forget this way. I've got our bases covered.
There you go. I just have to say this because I was having a phone conversation with my mother earlier today. And hi, Mom. And she said that she couldn't listen to our podcast because she kept laughing because it kept making her think of sweaty balls. That absolutely phenomenal SNL sketch with Alec Baldwin.
Is it because we have amazing NPR voices?
I think so. I don't know.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment to my post-processing prowess.
I told her, I was like, it's all the mics. That's all it is. It's the microphones.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, let's actually get back to, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I took a little, I veered away there.
It's all right. Sweaty balls are important to cover.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Or something.
Exactly. We were talking about what happened,
yes.
What we had to do. So we had to change our plans last minute from the Wish.
Yes.
And we were in a bit of a
pinch.
We were a little, what's the word? Frantic on what to do.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? There's got to be houses available.
Yep.
I did look to see if there are any DVC resorts we could stay at.
And no.
And no, there wasn't anything. But then I was like, you know what? Let's stay down by the beach. Let's go to the beach.
Yep.
So I looked Cocoa Beach. I looked Daytona Beach. I didn't want to do Daytona Beach.
No,
it's a little too...
It's more like Myrtle Beach. And
we didn't want that.
No.
We wanted something a little more laid back.
Yes.
I wanted something close to the beach.
Yes. And I wanted something, there was a SpaceX launch coming up.
Yes.
And I wanted to see it.
Yes.
So I didn't want to go to the Gulf Coast, which arguably may have some better beaches, some more enjoyable beachside residences and things like that. But I wanted to be where I could see rockets go.
Yeah. And we wanted a pool too. I wanted to make sure we had a pool to get into. So I found a really nice 3-bedroom in Cocoa Beach that we've been enjoying for the past 5 days.
Yes. If you've watched our social media, you probably saw the picture of Alicia and I spending a quiet evening on the couch.
The 15-foot couch.
There's a 15-foot sectional couch.
Yeah.
It's really comfortable.
It's really comfy.
But we're way far away from each other.
That's okay. We have our own. No, I mean.
Wow.
Wow, I got to look. Sorry. No, it's okay. Because I'm close to you now.
Yes.
Yes, so I got this wonderful house, and we had to check out of Disney by 11 o'clock.
Yes, they were so full they couldn't let us slide at all. So we found out on Sunday that we were not going to be able to get on the Wish on Monday.
Yep.
And so we spent all of Sunday freaking out and trying to figure out where we were going to stay for a week or so and how we were going to get there and all the rest of that stuff. And the irony here is Alicia and I typically plan our vacations 12 to 24 months in advance.
Yes.
And we're having to make vacation plans 24 hours in advance. It was a wee bit outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
I will say I did some light to moderate freaking out. But you know what? It all turned out okay.
Yeah, I knew it could be done. I
Yes.
mean, we may have gone overkill on a couple of things, but that's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Yep. So on Monday when we had to check out, I got a lift over to the airport, over to MCO to pick up a enterprise car rental, which was surprisingly amazing. So I just got a minivan. It was a good deal. And I was really shocked. So pro tip for when you're driving in Florida, if you have a rental, they have a service called Visitor Toll Pass. And I think if you just Google Visitor Toll Pass in Florida, you'll find it. I think it may be visitortollpass.com. Anywho, there's a kiosk at the airport and you basically get an RFID like hang tag that you put in your rental car. Tell your rental agency to not charge tolls by the plate, and you get like local resident rates instead of jacked up car rental rates on the toll roads, which can save you like 60 to 70%. It's really awesome. So I got dropped off kind of it was on the A side of MCO, right in the dead center. So I think it was like Sun West or something like that. I went down the escalator and literally the visitor toll pass booth was right there. I picked up the toll pass and then the enterprise desk was right there. There was nobody in line. So I got the paperwork done super fast, then walked across the way to the parking deck. There was no wait there. Super helpful woman at Enterprise pointed me to the minivans, and it was like, Chrysler Pacifica, Dodge Caravan. I'm like, I don't even know, didn't realize they even still made those anymore. Pacifica, and then a Honda Odyssey.
Which we have at home.
Which we have one at home, although
Old.
ours is
Old.
11 years older.
Yes.
But it was clearly the nicest minivan there, and it's amazing. All of the little nitpicky stuff of our 11-year-old Honda Odyssey, they have fixed. And then some. Like, wow. This isn't a car podcast.
No.
But if you are in the market for a minivan, I highly suggest looking at the Honda Odyssey. The newer stuff is just fantastic.
I still love my Honda.
Yeah, it's a fantastic car.
It has more pickup than the one we have now, though. I think I've trained it nicely.
Well, you've trained it nicely, and the one that we have at home probably has a bigger motor in it than the one from the car rental place.
True.
But the one at the car rental place has all of the other bells and whistles that ours does. Like, it's pretty dang cool. Anywho, so it was pretty great. I got back to Grand Floridian at like 10:30.
Yep.
And checkout was at 11. And got up to the room. We got all our bags out. We checked out on time. And it was great. And then we
got on the road. I have a question for you about the toll pass, though.
Yeah.
Are there expiration dates on that? Or do we just hold on to that for our many Florida trips that we see in the future?
No, so you have to return the hang tag at the end of your trip.
Okay.
Or you get charged like $50 or something like that.
So it's per vacation.
It is per vacation. There's no rental fee. So you don't pay to rent the tag. You only pay for the tolls that you use.
Is it similar to the Good to Go pass in Washington State where you give them a card and they will charge that card for the tolls?
Exactly.
Nice.
That's exactly how it works. And then when you're done and you go to drop off your rental at MCO at the airport, you just take the tag with you, and there are at many of the entrances at the to the airport from the car rental deck, there are drop boxes, and you just throw the tag in there and you're good to go. So
nice and easy.
Yeah, you do have they do have an app that you put on your phone, and then when you get to the car, you put in the license plate of the vehicle.
Okay.
Just so they have another way to match it up.
There you go.
Yeah, it was super easy.
Nice.
Barely an inconvenience.
Exactly. So we got on the road. We were on the road by 11.
Yes, we made sure to stop off at our friend's place.
Had to pick up some
Libations
yes. that we had shipped to them.
Yes. Planning for our future trip in September, but we needed a bottle because...
we needed a bottle.
Yeah. Yes.
Of, shall we say what it is? Because it's delicious.
It's Hercules Mulligan. It is a new brand from Flaviar. You can get it many places online, and they're in stores mostly in the New England Northeast area right now. They're working on expanding. It is basically a pre-mixed old-fashioned, and it is...
But it has a sweeter taste to it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's whiskey and rye, right?
It's
very good.
It's so good.
And it has a little bit of a sweeter taste to it than an old fashioned, but not super sweet.
Yes.
I enjoy it too.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have that.
Yes.
And it has been partaken of
yes.
this week.
Mm-hmm.
I took a couple of sips of Nathan's glass the other night while we were watching a thunderstorm when he wasn't looking.
That's why it went away so fast.
Yes. we left Grand Floridian, went over, picked up the bottle of Hercules Mulligan, and we're on our way down to Cocoa Beach.
Yes.
Which is not really a far drive.
No, it's like an hour-ish.
Yeah. Saw all the construction that they're doing for the Bright Line track.
Yep.
Speculated that maybe someday they'll have a little offshoot over to the Port Canaveral.
Yeah, maybe.
I know they have one. They have an offshoot coming to Port Miami.
Yes. We'll see if they do that in Port Canaveral. I don't know. It would have to be a spur going off this direction.
Yeah, and that's what they have for Port of Miami too, is a spur.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Who knows? We got to Cocoa Beach a little early. Our check-in wasn't until 4:00, but I was messaging the owners of the house, letting them know that, if there's any chance it's available early, let us know. We drove by the place just to check it out and see where it was, and saw that the cleaners were doing their thing.
Yep.
We're like, let's just drive down this little road.
A1A.
And just go down south. We ended up going down to Space Force.
That's right.
Base.
I forget which Space Force base that is.
Does it start with an A?
I don't remember. It's down. We probably went about 15 miles south, 10 or 15 miles south, and then turned around and went north because we had time to kill. And we ended up, it was Patrick Space Force Base.
Yep.
And we ended up towards Titusville. And then I said, hey, let's take the causeway out, because at that point we're on the northern edge of Kennedy Space Center. You can't drive through Kennedy Space Center unless you're badged, unless you have an Air Force badge and or a NASA badge.
For some reason, they have roads closed off. Who knows?
Yeah, weird. Anyhow, so if you get up to Titusville, there is a causeway out there that you can go out, and there is the Canaveral National Seashore, and that was
a nice happenstance.
Beautiful.
We just went in. We paid. It
was $20.
$20.
It was, and it gave access for 7 days. And they have this big straight shot out to the beach. You end up passing just past the end of the space shuttle runway where they used to land. You can't see it from the road, but that's kind of where you are. You're on the very northern edge of the Kennedy Space Center, and they have several turnouts that you are effectively 1.9 miles from pad 39B, which happens to be where they're rolling out the Artemis, which we'll come to here in a second. So we went out to the beach. They had a restroom there because we needed to use the restroom.
I don't know if that was a restroom.
Well, it was a cesspit with a roof over it.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
I couldn't. I tried, and my sensitive nose could not take it.
It was.
Nope.
Yeah. So just use your imagination. It's the beach. It's Florida. It's hot, and yeah, it was an experience. It was
disgusting.
It had an aroma. Yeah.
That's one word.
But it has there are 13 parking lots, and they have walkways up and over the dunes to get to the beach. If you go all the way down to the end to number 13, that is the nudist beach. They have several
There's signs.
They have signs warning you of, hey, just so you're aware, we didn't go that far.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I wrote it down because the wording was very funny, but I don't know where I put it. Basically, the sign warning you that, hey, there may be nude people here.
Yes.
You may encounter nude sunbathing near Boardwalk 13.
Yes, indeed.
And we had to explain to Sterling what that meant. And he's like, I don't know what that means. I was like, well, do you know what nude is? He's like, yeah, naked. Like, do you know what sunbathing is? He's like, no. Like people lying out on the beach trying to get a tan. And he was a bit shocked at that. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, about that. Mm-hmm. We only went to boardwalk number 1.
Yeah.
Then we turned around and headed back and got to the house a little after the cleaners were done, right around 4 o'clock. And yeah, moved in for the week.
Yep.
And then, was it the next morning?
Yeah, the next morning.
The very next morning.
They were rolling out.
Yeah, that was right. That night, NASA was rolling Artemis 1, which is the new multi-billion-dollar rocket stack that is more powerful than the Saturn V. They rolled it from the vehicle assembly building on the big, huge crawler transporter out to pad 39B. And I said to myself, you're a space nerd. You've been to space camp. Let's go see this thing. And the National Seashore opens at 6 a.m. And I got up early. I think I set an alarm for 5. And I woke up about 4:45 and said, oh, good enough. Let's go. I was excited.
I was not a part of that trip.
That was just me.
I did not want to get up that early.
No, it's okay. I wound up being car number 3 in line and made my way to the nearest turnout to the launch pad and stayed there with our nice camera and enjoyed sunrise. As it turned out, I thought they had already made it, but we basically watched, or me and a local basically watched the final half hour or so of movement of the crawler transporter getting the rocket up onto the pad. So it was really cool. I took a bunch of pictures. We shared some up on the on social media that I'm sure folks have seen. If you haven't,
looks really neat.
Go take a look on our Facebook or Instagram. And yeah, that was such a great experience. And then I went down to the beach after kind of the sun was up and actually walked out on the beach and took a whole bunch of pictures as the sun was clearing the haze and kind of the marine layer that was out there. And it was really cool. There was like pelicans swooping down and there were some sandpipers playing. The tide was out. I took some pictures. It really reminded me of the Pixar Sandpiper film.
Piper.
Yeah. That of, just little bird playing in the water in the mud, and that was cool. I really, really enjoyed it. That was well worth getting up at 4:45. It sounds crazy, but I really enjoyed that. That was a good use of my morning. And then I totaled around. I think I picked up a couple odds and ends we needed at at a store, and I was home by about 9. And that was a good morning. That was kind of the highlight of, one of the highlights of staying here for sure. We've jumped in the pool with the kids every day, which has been great. Sterling has basically learned how to swim.
Yeah.
Kind
of float? Kinda. Kinda.
He doesn't have an ounce of fat on his body. He sinks. But I've got him swimming. He's not super comfortable in it, but he understands a lot of the core concepts and how he needs to relax into it and get his breathing done. And he can make it from one end of the pool to the other and doesn't freak out. And it's been really cool to just have some time to lean in with him and build his confidence and build some skills with him like that. I've really kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's not a huge pool, but it's just enough for what we need.
Yep.
We've spent a little tiny bit of time at the beach. There's no shade and it's hot.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the water isn't great for swimming in because there's that weird seaweed.
Yeah,
It's like I alluded to. It's like swimming in cold slaw. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's like chopped up red cabbage.
It is definitely a thing. There is, and it's not that far. Like if you went out swimming, you'd probably only need to go 40 feet, maybe 50 feet off the beach to get into clear water. But
with the riptides and stuff, I didn't want to.
Yeah, it's not worth it out here. I mean, Cape Canaveral does jut out from the rest of the coast. It very clearly sticks out, further into the Gulf Stream.
Yep.
I noticed I stuck my feet in the water on the north side of Cape Canaveral at the seashore, and the water here on the south side at Cocoa Beach is noticeably warmer than it is on that north side. So we're picking up a little of the Gulf Stream here. So
it's all right. We'll be in some warm water before too long. Clear water.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've gone to the beach a couple of times. Caitlin and I went one evening just to check it out. And there was a thunderstorm coming in, and it was really gorgeous just to see. It wasn't dark, but it was dusk.
Yeah.
It was really gorgeous to see the lightning flashes in the cloud. Like, we didn't see any bolts or anything, just the clouds lighting up on the beach. I love beaches, especially in the early morning or in the evening time. It's a lot quieter. It's just a lot more peaceful.
Yep. Last night we spent a couple hours sitting out on the front porch. The front of the house faces south, and off of the master bedroom, it has this huge deck, and it's got a couch out there, and
Covered. Yeah,
nice covered and everything, and it's got a couple of high chairs and a high table. And sat out there last night and read and watched a bunch of storms roll through. Lots of lightning, lots of ground strikes and things like that. It never got too gnarly right here at the house. Most of it slipped south of us, but it was so good to watch thunderstorms again. I miss that. That's like the one thing I miss from the South.
Yep.
I miss some people, but
people and thunderstorms.
Thunderstorms for sure I miss. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
And this afternoon, which we are recording this on a Friday.
Yes, Friday the 19th.
There was talk of a launch happening.
Indeed.
And we wanted to see it.
Indeed, and we did. We went down to the beach. We had debated whether or not to go up to Jetty Park by the cruise terminal, and we just didn't want to mess with people and all the rest of that stuff. And so, we went down to the beach here and took the big camera, and the house has some chairs and a beach blanket and some umbrellas and stuff like that, and just kind of hung out for 45 minutes or so, and watched SpaceX launch a Falcon 9 with a Starlink mission. I think it was 53 Starlink satellites went off today, and that was really, really cool. It's definitely got my I want to watch another launch, and I want to do it really close. If I have another opportunity, I want to get closer to a launch. It was really cool. We were looking slightly in the wrong place, and which is okay, but basically where the pad was a little over the horizon from us, and was a little bit further inland than I thought it was going to be. And So it basically came up from behind like a hotel.
Yeah, Sterling and Caitlin saw it first.
Yeah, they did.
And because I had a video camera ready, Nathan had the nice camera ready, and we're looking off to the right, and then Sterling's like, Mom, Dad. We look over to the left, and oh, look, it's already way up there.
Yeah.
But it was so cool to see.
It was really neat. And eventually,
The sound got to us.
we even heard it.
Yeah.
And that deep rumble was so cool. Yeah, it was. And I had my sunglasses on and everything, and it was that flame was still bright. Like that was very cool. Yeah, I wanna go back. So I did ask the ranger at the Canaveral National Seashore if the beach and everything was open for launches, and he said yes.
But you got to get there early.
You got to get there early. He recommended getting there about 3 hours early. So bring an umbrella, bring a cooler, bring whatever you need to camp out. But yeah, you can go there and see a launch. If it's during the day. The National Seashore there is open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. At least that's the hours during the summer. I don't know what the hours are for the rest of the year, but that's what it is right now. And yeah, you are real close to the action down there at the seashore. That would have been pretty darn amazing. We have some friends who got on to the Wish today, and they watched the launch from the Wish because it went off at 3:21 p.m. and the Wish, the sail away party and everything doesn't happen until 4 o'clock. So I am sure they got a fantastic view of the rocket launching from the deck there. So someday, hopefully soon, we will see a launch up close and personal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's got to happen now. Bucket list for sure.
Yes. And that's been our week. It's been a little crazy.
It has been a little crazy. We're going through packing again and last minute laundry and cleaning and getting ready to check out of this beautiful home in the morning. And then we'll drop off our rental at the Enterprise right there at Port Canaveral and take their little shuttle bus over to the Disney Fantasy and sail away with our friends. I've been so looking forward to this.
Yes. Time to relax even more.
Yes, I will say this has been a fantastic vacation home. The last week that we've been here has been great, but I haven't been relaxed.
No, there's been too much going on.
And everybody is good to go. Everybody is healthy at this point, and we're ready to rock and roll. And let's get this party started.
Exactly.
So yeah, that about covers us for this week. Next week on the podcast, you will hear an episode, and I think the next few episodes are stuff that we have pre-recorded either before our vacation or actually during our vacation. And we just wanted to put some things in the hopper that we didn't have to worry about recording everything while we were traveling. Of course, ironically, we're recording while we're traveling. And last week's episode and one of the future episodes that you'll hear coming up here in a few weeks is another episode that we've recorded here on the road. But anywho, you will hear all about our trip on the Fantasy real soon. That is for sure. If you have a need to take a vacation, please do it and use a travel agent. If you don't want to freak out over all of the details and try to figure out where you're going to stay and how you're going to get there and what you're going to do, use a travel agent. They're there to help.
Yep. We were in contact with ours.
We were.
Yes.
Indeed.
She helped out immensely.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Audie.
Yes. If you have any questions or suggestions, send us an email, podcast@adventuresandmousecapades.com. Follow us on socials @OurMousecapades. Take a moment, rate and review us in your podcast app to help people find us. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.